Hello guys, welcome. This is the African Updater. We are back here to update you again. So you remember the president was in Northeastern a couple of weeks ago, and he was doing a tour. He called it a development tour, and after doing that development tour, he came back, and people were akatoa hiyo mambo ya ID vetting and everything. So those things happen, and the president apparently people complained, but he has still remained defiant. So before niendelee, I want you to make sure that you subscribe to this platform. So I'm just going to give you a second. You subscribe, you hit the notification bell, and then nirudi, and then we give our analysis vile si ufanya, si ndio? Sawa. As I was saying, thank you for subscribing first, and those who haven't, please take your time and subscribe. So as I was saying, the president, after removing those vetting of IDs for people in that region, the people came with a lot of reactions, saying everything that they are condemning. Most people are against it, and we want to understand why are people against it first before I come back to why the president still defended it. Because the president yesterday came out and defended it so strongly that that thing is still wrong. He feel it's okay, and he feels like all Kenyans need to be treated the same. Now let's watch the videos first, and then I'll come back with my analysis and what I think about the whole thing. So let's watch the video of the president reacting, and there's a video of also a guy who was being interviewed, and he said something very interesting, and I think that one ties up to what the president why the president made the move. So it's allegedly, I will just say it's allegedly, because I don't know if it's true, but as I always say that sometimes you can connect the dots. So let's see.
It's not numbers. The campaign he has seen, the campaign he was going throughout during the KK was funded by the Somali people. He doesn't know that 60% of that funding came from us. They have brought the numbers. We have brought the money. The shirt he was wearing in UDA, the shirt, it was shirt bought through our money. We funded this. He's not hiding. When he was going to his village, his own village for campaign, we used to fuel for him. The choppers belong to us, some of us. Okay. So he has to know that. Okay. So we are telling Kenya, it's not numbers. Okay. We have played a big part in making sure this government slipped.
Okay. We are determined to have a nation that is united, a nation that is balanced, a nation that is equitable. Usawa ni kitu ya maana sana.
The video of that gentleman saying very well, I don't know who he is, saying very well that this is a person of Somali origin, and he's saying very well that they are the one who sponsored Ruto for 2022 campaign. They were the one who sponsored his campaign, even buying him is the outfit alikuwa anatumia, the nguo alikuwa anatumia, and fueling his cars when he was campaigning and running across the country during the campaign. And now this is like a move of him. It's now him now giving back after they served him and everything, after everything they did to him. Now this is a move whereby now these are some of the moves that now he is making in terms of now rewarding them, the Somali community and the Northeastern community, for standing with him financially and supporting him during that campaign. So as I always say that in politics there are always people who finance you and everything. Now, can this be the reason why the president is removing these vote restrictions in Nini? Yes, it can be a reason, and there can be more reasons, and more reasons is that the president has lost the Mount Kenya vote. Since the president has lost the Mount Kenya vote, which was now the biggest bloc that voted for him, the president is looking at ways where he can fill those gaps of those votes that he has lost. Because remember, as much as he's done, the president still has the Kalenjin vote, so he's looking for another huge voting block, and the huge voting block he got from 2022 was the Mount Kenya people. And now, after the Mount Kenya people have deserted him, he's looking for a way of now winning the Northeastern. But how will he get those votes? Now this is politics. The idea is first remove the restrictions of vetting, so it will make it easy for someone to get ID, because those guys will stay for long without getting national IDs. Now, once they get these IDs, these people will register to vote. Now it will be open that people need to register to vote. It will be open to vote, and now their leaders will start now convincing them that, hey, remember, now this is now how to get to 2022, that 2027 election. That remember, our president stood with you. Remove these restrictions so that you can get ID, so that you can feel you are more Kenyans na nini. So you people, it is high time pia nyinyi mumrudishie mkono, mumshukuru, mumpigie kura in the next election. So the president is looking at least getting around 2 million votes from northern part of Kenya through that matrix. If it will work, I don't know, but I really doubt if it will work, because in politics, they say politics is a game of numbers. But now let's see how the numbers will play out, because the people of Northeastern have very funny of always shifting, because once they get ID, they don't stay there, they move either to other parts of the country na nini. So it's going to be hard for him, but still, let's wait and see. Another thing is on the issue of financing. That is okay, politicians always get financing campaigns, you get, but the motive behind it. Because right now, if you remove these restrictions, which okay, at some point I can agree with the president that yes, these people are Kenyans. There are those who are Kenyans. But considering the region where this place is, we have a lot of people who are moving in, who are Somalis from Somalia getting into Kenya. And it's very hard to know who is a Somali, who is a Kenyan Somali, and who is a Somali from Somali. So this vetting was necessary. I feel like maybe the president, what could have done, he wouldn't have removed these restrictions. What he would have done, he would have made it in such a way that the issuance of ID doesn't take that long, that the vetting process happens very fast, just a day. Like hiyo day ukikuja, there's a panel, you go through all those vettings and nini, they approved. Whenever they approved, you get your nini, and your ID comes within, come like normal Kenyans, it doesn't stay that long. Like unapata mtu ana stay 5 years hajaipata ID, 10 years, 20 years. No, that is wrong. So these restrictions angetoa like the vetting ingekuwa tu hapo, but now he reduced the time of when these people have a sit down to go through this vetting process of these people, and then they get issued with ID. So inakuwa very fast, because pia we stand the risk of having foreigners, especially Al-Shabaab and everything, coming in Kenya and infiltrating our systems, because they can do it. They can find ways of getting the ID, because now the vetting process is not there. No. Once they get the ID, these people can come and even infiltrate our systems, get into the government. We might end up one day with an Al-Shabaab minister, with an Al-Shabaab so and so. So it is we need to be very, very careful. As much as the president, the move is making is political, it's for his own benefit, that one we can agree, but it has some element of truth to it, in the sense that people, honestly, I'm a Somali who was born and raised in Mandera. You telling me that I'm going to wait for my ID for another 20 years or 15 years ndio nipate ID, honestly, it's not fair. It's not fair. But there's a way they can shorten the process. There's a way they can tighten all the loose, so that once you go through the vetting, which can be done in one sitting, once you go through the vetting and it's done, then your ID shouldn't even, you've passed the vetting stage, then your ID shouldn't take more than even a month. In less than 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you get your ID. Na tunasonga. So I think that's what it could have been done, and I think the president could have still achieved whatever he wants to achieve, because he's still the president. He's still a politician. He still wants to play with the numbers for 2027 to favor him. It's okay. You know, me, sometimes I don't fault the president on so many things. He's a politician. That's what politicians do. Politicians are always out there to look for how they are going to win this, how they are going to... Because politics is the art of manipulation. Me, that's how I understand it. So, he's just being a politician, but don't do it at the risk of putting Kenyan's life in danger. You get, in such a way that now we'll have to be dealing with. And you know, once these people infiltrate your systems, it's very hard to get rid of them. It's very, very hard to clean them, because you will never know who is who. So, it is quite unfortunate that whatever is happening, but we are just requesting that if some of these things can be handled in such a way that these people still go through some form of vetting, then itakuwa poa, because but removing it completely, especially for those regions, then it's disaster. It's a disaster. And this one should happen not only in the Somali border, in Kenya and Somalia, even with the Kenyan border to Ethiopia, Kenyan border to South Sudan, Kenyan borders to Uganda, because we have a lot of Ugandans who come to Kenya. They infiltrate the system, and then within no time you find them with IDs. A lot of Tanzanians, Rwandese, Burundis, all those things. So there's some rumors going around that the president is planning to even get voters from Uganda to come and vote for him in 2027. But I really don't think that one will work, because the sad truth is that our president is now dealing with a generation that are very much awake, that they are very much following everything, and when you come up with such system, they'll be willing and ready to fight back. So it's a tricky situation for our president, but we wait and see. As much as he's terming it as doing justice to the people of that region, but we also understand that there's some politics being played. Whether those votes will amount to 2 million votes, that one for me, I feel that is a miscalculation. From my own analysis, is a miscalculation. That will be a very, very big miscalculation, because when we are going to have a sudden shift of votes from that region, from what is known tunajuanga, then Kenyans are going to raise an alarm, and it's not going to be well. People are going to, it's going to bring problems. You know, right now Kenyans are so much charged. Kenyans are so much charged. So if you want to do your thing, then you need to be very, very smart and smart at it. Otherwise, doing it so like that flatly, it might come back and backfire at you very badly. So I don't think that one will be healed much, because Kenyans are going to be in awake. So I don't know how these things will happen, but it's a wait and see. Let's see the commissioners coming into place and everything, and then we'll know how things will play out. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video and for staying true to this platform. As I always say in this platform, no one is always wrong, no one is always right, and the views expressed here are just my personal views. They are not like they are 100% the truth. This is just how I feel about everything. So it is open. You can also share yours in the comment section, but I always say, as you do that, let's remain respectful. You want to create a platform whereby it's a safe space for everyone. We share our ideas around politics, because at the end of the day, what we are looking for is good governance. We want this country to be governed well, and we want Kenyans to elect leaders that will perform and not just come and show off before us. So thank you so much, and make sure you subscribe again and you hit the notification bell. Until next time, bye bye.